News program. I am Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life. It is Sunday, August the 3rd, Root Chakra Day, Mulahadra, and I cannot wait to jump into that. But first, let's introduce you to my fabulous Sunday co-host, Tara Praola Studio. What's good in the hood, baby?
Hey y'all, we actually just got out of a wonderful clubhouse room this morning. And so if you're interested in joining us in that, you can join us at 11 a.m. every day on Clubby House. And we talk more deeply about the chakras. Sometimes we just talk shit and sometimes we talk deep. Um, yes, but I'm Tara Paolo. I am your resident Black biracial multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same. You may hear in the background my husband snoring and my baby is trying to take a nap but is actively blabbering in their room. So if you hear any of those noises, don't panic. It's just my household. It's just the way that it goes. And if you are interested as well in maybe coming on with us or talking about if you have some expertise in the chakras, or even if you don't, or you want to practice being in front of people, being live with people, one of the things that we strive to do in Love and Action Network is to encourage, equip, and empower you as a bold dreamer with the technical help. So we're perfectly happy to help you and be a part of your journey on creating your own podcast, or you coming on and kind of practicing being a host on one of our podcasts, of course, with us present and lifting you along the way. You can find that information at lovedandlovable.bio.link as well. And we will get this shared out to our community.
And while she's sharing out, I'm going to go ahead and launch us into our foundation of safety, stability, and strength. The root chakra, we talk about it every Sunday. The mantra is I am and Lam. The color is red, so you want to wear red on the days where you need to be rooted and grounded. Okay, you want to focus on the earth as the element. You want to focus on the base of the spine and the pelvic floor. That's one of the key associations of the root chakra. And also, like I said earlier, physical identity, tribal connection, your roots. Are your roots running deep? How deep are your roots? Are they keeping you grounded when the storms of life are coming? The storms of life are coming for everybody, no matter who you are and where you're watching from. You're going to have a storm in your life, and storms are coming. How do you feel about your root system? And for performers and visionaries and humanitarians like us, a strong root chakra provides the courage to take up space, a grounded presence to stand up before others and own your shit, and resilience to move through adversity. And goodness, don't we all have adversity right now in our lives? No matter who you are on the planet, you have a challenge. And your ability to be resilient and to call on that resilience is part of what it means to have a strong and sturdy root chakra system. Now, balancing that root chakra may include walking barefoot in nature, practicing mindful breath work and grounding meditations, honoring your body with nourishment and rest, and also releasing these inherited beliefs about scarcity and survival. As I move forward towards my mission and my goals in life, I am confronted with these ideas of, will there be enough money? Will there be enough protection? Will there be enough grounded energy in the places that I seek to go and travel? And the only thing that's keeping me away from knowing that all is well, everything is working out for my highest good, and out of this situation, only good can come and I'm safe, is an inherited belief of, where do you think the money comes from? Or money's hard to get, or people are closed off. And, Tara was talking earlier in the week about having to work 3 times as hard to get half as much. These are all inherited beliefs that keep us from the knowledge of understanding that good things want to come to us. There are tons of opportunities, tons of low-hanging fruit, and we just have to be willing to step out on our opportunities with boldness and courage. Week 32 in our network is all about love and imagination. The ways in which we dream and envision a world fueled by love. And here are some questions for you to help you feel deeper in your safety, your grounding, and your belonging. What does a safe, love-centered world look like from the ground up? And for those of us who are starting over in our career paths, launching into new opportunities. It can be very, very scary. But here are some questions to consider. What would it feel like to be completely safe and supported in a world built on love? In your imagined loving world, how are basic needs met for every person? How do community and family structures change when rooted in unconditional love? I didn't say rooted in bullshit. I said rooted in unconditional love. How do your community and family structures change in that? What systems, housing, food, and care would need to transform to reflect a love centered foundation? What systems like housing, food, and care would need to transform to reflect a love centered foundation? And of course, my last question to ask today is, what does home look like in a world where love fuels every brick and street? Well, it would be a regulated nervous system. It would be a space of self trust. It would be universal basic income. There's so many people in our community that are tired of working and tired of working hard and not enjoying their very existence. Like, we are here to be human beings, not human doings. And the doing and doing and doing is really getting to the community that I interface with. People do, like, it's not that they don't want to work altogether. And there are people who say, like, yo, I don't want to work. I'm tired of working. I'm tired of grinding. I've been doing it for decades. It's really getting to me. I feel like these people, it's not that they don't want to get up in the morning and do something with their lives. They're tired of the rat race. They're tired of the hamster wheel. They're tired of feeling like they're working and working and working and not getting ahead and not getting to enjoy the very existence of their lives. What say you about that, Priolo? Do you think that people, if we got universal basic income tomorrow, would people just stop working and lay around, or would they find things to do that actually cause them to light up?
I talk about this a lot. Like when we talk about retired people and people that go through retirement, they're actually busier after retirement than they were before retirement. Why? Because they have time to do the things that they actually enjoy doing, that they love to do, right? Like, for instance, my in-laws, and I pointed that way because my husband's sleeping right there. Um, my in-laws go camping so much more. They've had like 4 week-long camping trips this summer, which they could have never taken had they been at work. Um, my mother travels much more, right? Like, she's been retired for a couple of years, so she's been averaging at least once a month down to where I live, from where she lives, and that is great. My dad spends his days fishing and gardening and building and doing the things that he couldn't do as a computer programmer. So I do think about, all of these retired people and how much more they're doing and contributing to the joy and the love on earth, as opposed to contributing to capitalism, right? And what capitalism feeds off of truly is our exhaustion, our hustle, right? Like that is what capitalism is feeding off of, and the more that we feed it, the bigger the monster, right? The bigger the system. And so retirement is a way of, by the way, like social security checks is socialism, but y'all don't want to hear about that. So there's already socialism, and you old so-called white people that vote for Trump and people like him, you still want your social security check, right? You still want your Medicare, right? So why can't young people also have universal basic income and universal insurance?
Why do you think they want to keep everybody in the rat race, hamster wheel, not enough
Yeah, I mean,
mentality?
I think
What
it's
do we
it's a
gain from that?
it's a convince. I think what has been told, the story that has been told for years and years and years, is that your reward comes after the struggle. Your reward comes after the struggle. Like, if we think about it, if you are in the market, if you are working for 40 years, right, or 50 years, if you're a person that doesn't go to college, if you are working for that long until you are 65 or 67, whatever that looks like for you, then you deserve to enjoy life, right? And the figuring is that like you're going to die sometime after that. And so the majority of your life is lived in this rat race, in the hamster wheel. And I think that the reason that people believe in capitalism, I was literally thinking about this morning. Because I was like, I saw this post that I had posted a long time ago. And this is about to be, y'all are about to find, listen, Tara's not talked about this with Dr. Flo. Tara's not talked about this with my other coaches. I saw this post that I posted. And I remember it was like a picture of these books that I had bought at a local place called Schmidt Music. And we love Schmidt Music in the Midwest. And I had tagged them, and I was like super proud of myself because I had tagged them. And I remember that time on social media that like I was like, yeah, like if I just tag this person, if I just like do this, right, and have the boldness, like maybe I'll go viral, and then like maybe my life will change, right? And I got so disillusioned with that over the years, right, that like I just stopped posting. I stopped trying to like, and some of y'all are going to be like, Tara, you post every day. Yes, that's true. But I stopped, like, if you go far enough back, you will notice that like all of that content disappeared, right? All of that like natural, joyful content, because capitalism lied, because social media lied of like, yeah, every opportunity, it's an opportunity to go viral, like, and your life will change and da 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 da. And the addiction to like being, the addiction to the closeness to power, right? Because even when you're in the workplace, right? Like I remember working in corporate, and I remember like you're supposed to take a job that has upward momentum. Like if that person just leaves, I was just having a conversation with somebody the other night that was like, well, we would have more luck in this city because this person might leave sooner than the person in this other city. And so then like like we would have a job booked for us. And I was like, would you enjoy like the weather in that city? Like, would you, is it like, are your hobbies in that city? You know, and so it's but like that proximity to power, that proximity to like, oh, maybe the next time it'll be me, right? I remember working at Starbucks. I remember being the grunt worker and being like, if I can just work another day, I'll be a shift supervisor. And then I got to shift supervisor, and it was like, oh my God, if I could just be an assistant manager, like, oh my God, then I'd have power. I'd have like the DM, the district manager's ear, and da 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 da. And oh my God, like, y'all, the proximity to power is a lie. It's a lie, and it's the lie that keeps us trapped in the hamster wheel of capitalism.
And keeps us in this space of delayed gratification, this belief that hard work now leads to rewards later.
Yeah.
And it's often used to justify long working in our lives before retirement. And so you just keep going and going and going until you drop.
Right. Right. All right.
Nuts.
And nuts. Nuts. And if y'all want more of that type of content, either come into the WhatsApp community where we do talk about this. We shoot Deconstruction Junction chat. We shoot that almost as much as we shoot the general chat. You can come into that, or you could go back and listen to Deconstruction Junctions of the past, and you can join us on Thursdays at 1 p.m. For Deconstruction Junction of the present. I'm going to read the last 5 questions, which I almost said 4 questions because it's 6 through 10, and my brain went 10 minus 6 is 4, but it's actually 5. And we will close from there. Okay. What ancestral or cultural traditions help ground your vision of a loving society? What fears are you ready to release to help root yourself in love? That's a good one.
I can say fear of death, dismemberment, going the way of Gabby Petito.
I knew that's where we were going. I'm sorry I giggled. It's not right to giggle.
Like, we're all going through this journey one way. We don't know when our last day is or moment is. So trying to prep for the end, trying to catastrophize and try to prevent bad things from happening or disagreements or confrontations, it's just bullshit. I'm ready to release all fears. There's a book by, I think it's Thich Nhat Hanh. I used to have a copy of it before I start moving around so many places. It's called No Death, No Fear. And the idea of this book is that if you're not afraid to die, and Tara and I are both not afraid to die, um, you know, trigger warning to the room, and this is not a like a cry for help or and I do need help in many areas of my mission and my growth process, but it's not me saying that I want to go. If you find me hanging from a tree somewhere in the next couple of days, it was not a suicide. Someone came and got me for sure, but we don't have a fear of death. Death would actually relieve a lot of the suffering and worry that I personally have in life about gossip, about bills, about, being taken care of in the world, having to be on that hamster wheel. Like, I'm not afraid of death because death is like the people who died already don't have student loans. People who died already don't have to worry about utilities. The people who died already don't have to be called names. On the internet, the way that happens to me every day, it's the true freedom death is. So I don't have a fear of that. Um, I just would like to be released from the earthly preoccupation or the overthinking about life that comes from being here in a time like now. And as it relates to the question before about ancestral and cultural traditions that help to ground our vision in a loving society, I wish we had more communal food gatherings. I think food is love. I think food and music and community is going to heal a bunch of the bullshit that we encounter in life at present.
Cast iron will save the world. Truly, y'all. Like over a fire with a good cast iron skillet and like communing with each other and conversating with each other, and somebody has a guitar, and maybe somebody has an accordion, and there's just like songs of old, and like that is one of those things that I do, like folk songs. The choir that I'm singing with today, we have a CD of folk song. I can't remember what it's called. Folk songs near and far, I think is what it's called. But it was a whole concert of folk songs from around the world, and I think it's so sad. Like I was teaching a kiddo the other day, and she's 13, and there was a song in one of the books that we came across that like was a really common folk song that I sang as a kid, and like everybody knew it when I was a kid, and she didn't have any idea what it was. And I think that's so sad, y'all. That's so sad that like we're not carrying on the oral traditions. Um yeah, I
We're
just
too busy arguing with each other on the internet about having the
right.
best genes from American Eagle.
Right, exactly. Instead of actually communing with each other. Um we're keeping on going. We're keeping on going. How does the earth oof, how does the earth respond when humanity leads with love? She's kind to us, y'all. She's trying to listen. Mother Nature, she's trying to kick us all off. She's trying to kill us all, unalive us, excuse me, YouTube and Facebook. She said, y'all have been here too long. Y'all are treating me poorly. Y'all are digging holes in me. Y'all are cutting down my trees. Y'all are killing your own damn selves. Okay? Okay? So when we lead with love, right? Like land back, because the indigenous people know how to care for the land, right? The air is cleaner, and it's interesting the approaches that people take, because that is the premise of The Handmaid's Tale, right? The whole reason that those people build Gilead is to get fertility again by cleaning the air, right? Like they want a cleaner environment and they approach it in the exact wrong way. However, that is a universal want that the earth take care of us. But the earth will not take care of us unless we take care of her, right? Um Number 9, who thrives in this world and why? And lastly, what physical habits or rituals ground you in love as a daily practice?
I'm going to jump in here. Who thrives in this world right now are liars and child abusers and P3DOs, also known as pedophiles, and billionaires. They thrive because we prop up this selfish identity. I was on Clubhouse yesterday and got yelled down because I was one of the only people, there were others in the space, but I was one of the only people in the space who really was advocating for everyone being taken care of. There's this idea, even amongst Black people or so called Black people, that once I get enough capital and once I have enough gold in my coffers and I take care of myself, then I can just leave everyone in the dust. There was a woman on the stage who was in a foreign country. She's like, I'm overseas traveling right now. I don't have the same issues that you niggas have. So, like, ain't nothing to me. And I went, you're not special or unique, ma'am, in your selfishness. There are a lot of selfish people on the planet. It's not the flex that you think it is to be thriving in a world when other people are in pain.
Right.
And
All skin folk ain't kinfolk, child.
they're not. They're not. And selfishness, while it may make you feel better than someone, it really shows us the character
Well, and
of
does that
who
make
we
you
really
love
are.
yourself more? Like that's the thing. Like if you really to bring back the layers, right? If you peel back the layers of selfishness at root, do you feel good? Do you feel good? And a lot of times it manifests outwardly as no, you don't feel good. You do not love yourself. You're running. You're running from loving yourself, right? And these people thrive, quote unquote thrive, because that's the definition that we have collectively accepted as thriving. What if thriving is walking barefoot in your yard and planting something? What if thriving is, as Dr. Flo was pointing to earlier, gathering under a tent and singing a universal song of love? What if thriving is pouring your neighbor lentils? What if thriving is buying groceries for someone else and giving it all away? What if thriving is walking with your backpack across the country? What if thriving is sitting on the corner and proselytizing what you believe in? What if that's thriving? Not sitting behind locked doors and locked gates protected by the Secret Service. What if it's not thriving to be so public as Oprah is and hoarding gobs of money?
They were saying that the reason why she didn't want people to drive through her road in Hawaii trying to escape the tsunami alarm was because she doesn't want people seeing what she's actually building on said property that could be unethical. I have a digital assistant now that runs as an overlay on the entire screen as we talk and as I'm in my meetings to try to enhance the discussion and to make it and to pull up terms and things that we lift.
And you will be sending me that link, please and thank you.
It's amazing, and I sent you some
I
screenshots.
I saw I saw one of them and I went, "Wow."
It
Which
is
also,
crazy.
dear Clubhouse, give me the wow reaction back. What is wrong with you people?
I'm about to send you another one here.
Okay.
Thriving in unjust systems looks like capitalist and unequal societies that reward unethical behavior like dishonesty and exploitation, allowing some to thrive materially at others' expense. Also, as a sociological concept, success can be structurally linked to privilege, power, and unethical behaviors. and systemic barriers and power imbalance can perpetuate harm, and it actually shields the perpetrators of that harm as it's doing in our government. These people have no vested interest in making us feel better or having better lives. Go
Right.
on.
And you know, like you were talking about Black people earlier, and eh, I really struggle personally dealing with Black capitalists. As a person that is really always seeking to be anti-capitalist and always seeking an overthrowing of the entirety of the system, because the system is not built on love, the system is built on hierarchy, the system is built on hate, and that is, I don't like to live in that. It doesn't feel good on my soul. But where I was going with this is, you know, that the the way in which a Black capitalist approaches the world is also, I want to connect this back to the room we had this morning, which was, who are you really? Right? Who are you really? And we talked about the three masks, and what and a lot of people in the room were kind of talking about how they change based on the person that they're talking to, or the people that they're talking to, or the room that they're in. And I know Dr. Flo and I both share that, like, we're trying to be the same person in the Google Meet with just each other, and out here with y'all folks. Like, y'all know I belch in here. My husband's snoring behind the thing. I'm on the couch. Y'all can see my couch, my dirty ass couch. Like, you know, Dr. Flo's sitting in his studio where you see him very often. He's sometimes in the kitchen. He's eating BLTs and I'm feeding the baby. Like, we try to be the same human across the board. But what I want to, and this is what I didn't say in the room this morning, what I want to lift here that's similar between a Black capitalist and a person that is consistently changing who they are based on who they're talking to, is that you are subconsciously building a hierarchy inside of yourself of what is best and what is worst. And my argument is that we thrive when we are in balance. There is no hierarchy. Trump is not better than me. Oprah is not better than me. I am not better than the homeless person on the corner, right? I am not better than the poorest person in my city. I am not better than the people in Gaza. I am not better than the people in Congo. I am not better than the people in Sudan. I am not better than the people in Hawaii. I am not better than the people in Haiti. I'm not better, right? No one is better. And no facet of my personality is better than the other. There are parts of me that have been cultivated and pulled out because someone else deemed them better and to do better in the hierarchy of capitalism. But I'm not going to be at war with myself any longer about those things. And that's how I'm going to thrive. That's all.
If you're wondering what we're talking about as it relates to the mask and our integration of our mask and trying to be whole, and not just trying, but being whole on the planet, which is part of our commitment to each other in the network, it's a concept rooted in various cultures and psychology describing the different faces or personas that people show. The first mask is what you show the world as your public persona. The second mask is what you show to close friends and family as your private self. And the third mask is what you hide from everyone, even yourself. It's your true self. And integrating those people and those personas helps you build a stronger social identity and then also move from a place of authenticity. And that's what we want. I'm tired of dividing myself into multiple pieces and pretending on the planet only to have people reject me any damn way. I have no interest in that. I'm interested in being whole, feeling whole, doing whole things, loving whole things, speaking from a place of wholeness, seeing the wholeness in others in front of me and those that I envision in my mind around the world, and then understanding people in their wholeness. Sure, we all have things that we need to work on and be better at, but moving from a place of wholeness and a grounded energy in your I am is a great way to be. What are your closing thoughts today, Praolo?
I am feeling so grounded based on the couple of conversations that we've had today. I always, I feel very grounded in a lot of spaces, but it's what we just talked about, right? I feel very rooted in my missions. I feel very rooted as I grow in community with Flow and Love and Action Network and beyond in being called to just be me. And I feel very rooted in that today, like that. And over the past few weeks, it's been like, okay, who are you really? Like, who are you to people? Who are you like? And does it matter? Who are you to the internet? Who are you to your husband? Who are you? Like, who are you, girly pop? You know? Like, do you use that language? Is that somebody else's language? That's one of those things that comes up when you're branding, y'all. Is that like, what is your brand voice? And it's like, is that really me? Or is that like the academic that I was trained to be? Is that really me? Or am I singing this the way the white people want me to sing it? Is that really me? Or am I singing this the way the black people want me to sing it? Is that really me? Is that really me? And so that's like my interrogatory question um that I kind of put myself through that is helping me ground a lot today. Is that really me? Is that really me? Yeah. What about you? You got any closing thoughts?
Is that really me?
Is that really me?
Yeah. I'm grateful to have people in my life at present who encourage me to be me, flaws and all. As I work through these experiences, as I continue to grow myself and grow my heart space and grow my ministry and my mission, I'm grateful to be in an experimental container of people in a community where there's no push for right or wrong. There's just a call to being myself, whatever that feels like at 1:35 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. And having nothing to prove, nothing to protect, nothing to hide, and nothing to defend puts me in a place of power. I would encourage everybody who's listening on the podcast today or watching on the TV submission to adopt this philosophy of having nothing to prove. That having to prove yourself creates this anxiety and like this need to please. Having to defend yourself, having to feel like you need to protect yourself, from dangers that may never present themselves, that need to protect, a need to hide the parts of ourselves that we don't think are perfected enough to be seen. I'm grateful to be letting all that shit go. Finally, after 20 something years of trying to look a certain way and behave a certain way and to appear a certain way, I'm grateful to just be me. It's the ultimate flex. To be still and know that I'm one with me. So I get to live freely and not be afraid of anything, even death. What a gift. Thank y'all so much for watching today and holding space for love daily. This show is produced by Poppy Water 33, Tara Parola Studio, and myself, Andre, in the Flow. We are still calling for justice for Charles McNair. Look up his story. It's a very powerful story. If you're interested in joining us on the pod, just drop us a line. We know that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your days, no matter who you are and no matter what you're going through. So stay groovy, and we'll see you very, very soon around our fabulous network. Take care, everybody.